Hello everyone, my name is Anubhav Jain. I am one of the internal medicine residents at Wayne State University School of Medicine. Today I will be presenting our study titled Efficacy and Safety of Dexmedetomidine in Management of Alcohol Withdrawal, Evidence from a Meta-Analysis. Nearly 1 out of every 5 hospitalized patients coming to the ER have alcohol dependence. 18% of these patients develop alcohol withdrawal during their hospital stay, and 8 to 40% of these patients require ICU admission, depending on the severity of the disease and complications. Alcohol withdrawal usually emerges 24 to 96 hours after cessation of alcohol consumption and are characterized by sympathetic hyperactivity and metabolic psychiatric disorder characterized by agitation, hallucination, and seizures. Benzodiazepines are commonly used to manage alcohol withdrawals and are effective for the purpose. However, often large doses of benzodiazepines are required for severe alcohol withdrawal, which is associated with excessive sedation, subsequently leading to respiratory failure and requiring intubation. This increases the length of stay, increases the hospital costs, and patient morbidity and mortality. Alternative drugs with good efficacy and safety profiles are currently unavailable for the management of alcohol withdrawal. Drugs like anticonvulsants, antipsychotics, ethanol barbiturates, propofol have been used for this purpose, but the evidence base for these agents is weak or absent. Dexmedetomidine, which we will be referring to as Dex for the purpose of this presentation, is a centrally acting alpha-2 receptor agonist. It is approved in ICU for sedation in mechanically ventilated patients and for procedural sedation in non-intubated patients. The two common side effects of Dex are hypotension and bradycardia. Dex does not cause any respiratory depression as it lacks any GABA activity. It has shown to reduce the duration of mechanical ventilation. Over the last few years, there has been various reports of successful use of Dex, usually in adjunct with benzodiazepines, in the management of alcohol withdrawal. However, most of these publications have been limited to case reports, case series, retrospective and prospective observational studies only. Only 2 randomized controlled trials have been published at the time of this review. Due to the lack of structured evidence, the role of Dex in the management of alcohol withdrawal is not well established. To address this, we conducted a systematic review and meta-analysis to assess the efficacy and safety of this drug for this purpose. Keeping this in mind, our null hypothesis is adjunct use of Dex with benzodiazepine in treating alcohol withdrawal is not associated with shorter length of ICU stay and hospital stay. We started the process with a detailed review of literature. It was done by 2 independent reviewers. Any inter-reviewer discrepancy was addressed by the supervising faculty. After reviewing PubMed and Embase, 506 abstracts were identified. After removal of duplicates, 310 abstracts were screened. Only full manuscript papers published from inception to January 2020, which compare the data on utilization of Dex versus placebo in alcohol withdrawal management, were included. After initial screening, 42 full text abstracts were assessed for the eligibility, and finally 5 studies were included in the final meta-analysis. The primary outcome that we wanted to study were number 1, ICU length of stay, number 2, total hospital length of stay. Our secondary outcome was to study the rate of adverse events including bradycardia and hypotension. Data was reviewed and pooled from 5 eligible studies. Out of these 5, 2 studies were randomized controlled trial and 3 studies were retrospective observational studies. A total 638 patients were included in the final statistical analysis. Out of these, 250 patients got Dex. This was also called the case group. 388 patients did not receive Dex. This is the control group. Statistical analysis of the pooled data was done using RefMan software and forest plots were generated. These are the forest plots of our primary outcomes. In these forest plots, the black diamond represents the overall effect estimate. The vertical line represents the line of no effect. Note that in both the forest plots, the effect estimate lies directly on the line of no effect. This concludes that the ICU length of stay and total hospital length of stay in both case and control group was not statistically different. Note the p-value as well. These are the forest plots of our secondary outcomes. The top forest plot shows that the effect estimate represented by the black diamond lies to the right of the line of no effect. This means that the Dex group has more hypotension. Note that the p-value is 0.06. Thus, Dex group had near statistical significant trend towards hypotension. The lower forest plot shows the DEX group had more bradycardia with a relative risk of 7.85. This was statistically significant with p-value of 0.002. Over the last few years, the use of DEX as an adjunct to benzodiazepines have increased, but due to the lack of constructive data, there is significant interinstitutional variability in its use. DEX seems as an attractive drug due to its effect on alpha-2 receptor that reduces the hyperadrenergic state in alcohol withdrawal syndrome, thus suppressing tachycardia and anxiety while promoting arousable sedation. Unlike benzodiazepines, it does not have GABA activity and therefore does not cause respiratory depression. Total and mean benzodiazepine use may serve as a surrogate for alcohol withdrawal severity and outcome, but in actuality, as alcohol withdrawal resolution is time dependent, ICU length of stay and hospital length of stay are more clinically meaningful measures for withdrawal outcomes as compared to the total dose of benzodiazepines. Our results showed that the patient who received DEX had no statistically significant reduction in ICU length of stay and total hospital length of stay with higher rates of bradycardia. Thus, we failed to disprove our null hypothesis. There are two possible reasonings for this. Number one, DEX potentially suppresses the alcohol withdrawal signs and symptoms without treating the underlying withdrawal physiology, as it has no GABA modulating effect. This may alter the kinetics of withdrawal in a manner that potentially prolongs its duration. Number two, additionally, the infusion of DEX requires ICU level of care because of its potential to cause cardiovascular complications. Those patients who receive prolonged infusion of DEX may have remained in ICU simply because of the monitoring requirement of the medication. To conclude, I would like to mention that the adjunct use of DEX has risen in recent time, but we still lack the constructive data. There is no added benefit of DEX in reducing ICU and total hospital length of stay. DEX may be associated with higher incidence of adverse events including bradycardia and hypotension. DEX may have been useful in management of alcohol withdrawal, but larger RCTs are required to understand its appropriate indication and better selection of patients. With this, I would like to conclude my presentation. Hope this research was able to add some insight to current level of education and you found it clinically useful. Please feel free to reach out to me by leaving me a comment below or sending me an email if you have any questions or comments. Thank you.